Hi there, I'm going to be covering in-person academic advising versus virtual academic advising. Today on our agenda, we're going to be covering a little bit of background, the problem, solution, actions that need to be taken, and the conclusion. So academic advising success regarding in-person consists of an advisor and a student who discuss course requirements, class scheduling, graduation requirements, and other issues. To the right over here, I have a graph that's covering just a typical advising session, what they'll be talking about, goal setting, career planning that advisors help students with, and they form that student-advisor relationship. Virtual advising, I just gave a simple definition here. Virtual advising entails online applications to communicate. Email communication is the main form of communication between student and advisors, which is unfortunately a lot of where the miscommunication can stem from. That you just don't have that one-on-one in-person bonding and communication as well over back and forth through emails and even online applications like Zoom, Microsoft Teams as well. So the purpose for this topic that I chose, I personally actually struggled a lot with online advising. Once the COVID pandemic hit, I was just like distraught trying to go back and forth with my advisor. So the purpose of this is once the COVID-19 pandemic started, technology and online learning took over in-person classes and education. And unfortunately, not every student has that technology and software for virtual schooling and advising. I added in this, it was an in-text citation from a previous report that I did regarding this topic. As advising becomes more adaptive with technology, the National Academic Advising Association is slowly adapting to new technology and using resources to make online advising easier for advisors and students. Now, as the pandemic hit us kind of out of nowhere, we were not able to really we had to take some time to get used to this. It was like, boom, everything was online. So I think that's where a lot of people struggled, including myself. So use of technology in academic advising. Virtual advising is now being used at almost every college that consists of technology and software. Virtual advising can offer flexibility, especially for higher education students, graduate students who have busier lives, work full-time jobs. The benefits of face-to-face advising offer more of a personal interaction between the advisor and student, therefore, last bullet, less communication. The use of email and even online video applications can cause many miscommunications as they are not in person. So, issues with virtual advising. Students who are not in-depth technology users with the technology users with this struggle. Miscommunication between the student advisor. Morrison, an author of a credible source, stated this was regarding the COVID-19 pandemic when it hit. Morrison stated, "We bought a Wi-Fi booster and struggled to the end of spring 2020 semester, barely." And smaller institutions, more like local institutions in smaller towns, may be behind on technology as far as like the Zoom and all the technology and software that can be offered to students. Here, consequences of miscommunication within virtual academic advising, missing deadlines, frustration from miscommunication, which is something personally that I have dealt with, a delay in graduation, which I have a friend, unfortunately, he did. His graduation was delayed because there was a huge miscommunication between him and his academic advisor. Weak student-advisor relationship as it is only online, going back and forth through email, chatting, of course, the unnecessary emailing back and forth, and technology and Wi-Fi issues. That had to be one of the number one problems a lot of my fellow students when I was earning my bachelor's degree that they struggled with was they either didn't have the right software, their computers weren't updated, their Wi-Fi wouldn't work, couldn't get into the class or appointment because Wi-Fi would kick them off. Solutions to the issue within virtual advising: extensive education for faculty members on the technology being used. This can offer a lot more education for faculty members and how they can troubleshoot these problems when it comes to advising their students through online chatting, emailing, or video calls. Another solution: in-person appointments provided if students are not comfortable with web-based applications. In unfortunate circumstances during the COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of on-campus activity was completely prohibited. Therefore, we couldn't really get around that one. However, now that although virtual advising and web-based applications are becoming more prominent and popular, I believe students who struggle with this technology should have the option of in-person appointments as well. Here, this figure here is going to show us just how the student and the advisor form that relationship, from building relationships, mentoring their student, appreciative advising, academic coaching them on what classes to take, what major they should choose, and some actions that need to be taken. Here I have a picture that is going to show what the expectations are from the advisor themselves as well as the student. A lot of these are going to be prone to being used in person. However, I believe that you could use them as virtually as well. So an in-depth research on how important the student-advisor relationship is, especially in-person appointments. I believe a lot more information and research should be taken on that. And workshops for faculty and students on how academic advising works virtually. I believe this would fix a lot of problems and miscommunication within advising as far as technology troubleshooting and miscommunication all around with their students. So my conclusion here is a little bit lengthy. Schools should be offering both in-person appointments and virtual appointments, as virtual can offer flexibility for some students, while it can actually cause many unnecessary challenges for other students as far as technology and software. As a future advisor, utilizing the information learned from this research, virtual advising can be just as effective if the right technology is used and teachers are educated on the technology as software, meaning advisors as well, all faculty members being educated on the software and technology that is being used with their students. Thank you guys for your time listening to my presentation. I have linked my contact information. I have my works cited for all of my credible sources and my credible authors of those articles. And here I have all the URLs from all the figures that also offer quite a bit of information regarding academic advising. Thanks, guys.